What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, man? Check it out. I'm Rob Odie. I'm in Studio 39, aka the Bear Cave, and this is the Normal Wednesday. True Exposure Live, brought to you by Spotlight39, hosted by myself. So with that being said, make sure you do what you do. Support the movement, man. Subscribe, comment, like, all the fun stuff that YouTube likes. And I'm sorry if I sound a little nasally, man. I'm dealing with the virus. I'm not feeling super great. But that's not going to stop me, man. We're doing some big things over here at True Exposure Live. Championship 7v7. So let's get into it, man. Who do we got up? Well, let's show you the hype video.
MGP on the beats.
Man, if that wasn't an intro hype video, I don't know what was. So check it out, man. My guy Steve apparently is still having some technical difficulties. Maybe he's not. Maybe that is my end. There he is, live and in
There he
color.
is.
That's my fault. So check it out, man. We got some super special guests, right? We got a head coach. We got a student athlete. So I'm not going to spoil the fun. I'm going to let you guys formally introduce yourself, man. And look, I'm going to start with my guy Tyler. Because that smile on his face, man, when he was watching his own highlights, made my heart smile. So I enjoyed that. So go ahead, Tyler. Tell the world formally who you are, where you're from, what squad you rock with, and anything else that you want us to know about who Tyler is, QB1.
What's up? My name is Tyler Harrison. I live in Tampa, Florida, and I play for the Tampa Bay Fighting Irish.
Look, man, short, sweet, to the point. I like it. I like it. You got to say national champion Fighting Irish, though, right? I think we need to add that part. I could be wrong, but maybe that's what it is. So go ahead, Coach. It's up to you now, man. Go ahead, tell us who you are, where you're from, what you do, and anything else that you want the world to know.
Yeah, Coach Jay Mize. I coach the national champion Tampa Bay Fighting Irish, 12U team, and here in Tampa, Florida, most of my life, and can't wait to get the 7-7 season started this weekend.
Look, man, 72 hours. What is it? Hines City, Florida, right? Hold on. Look, man, classic. We called it audible, right? It was a little last minute change, but we partnered up with 7v7 Elite to bring you the biggest, baddest, best kickoff to the circuit that we possibly could, right? So we moved from Melbourne to Hines City, but nonetheless, the tournament is going down, and we got some phenomenal teams that's going to be showing up and showing out, and you guys being one of them, man. So go ahead, Steve, give us a brief intro on who you are, man, and then let's get into some good conversation, and let's talk about some Tampa Fighting Irish and what to expect and all that fun stuff, man.
I'm just here to prove it in the best. everybody involved. This is really about super true exposure for all the young athletes. I'm here with Rob working together to make sure this is possible in lieu of some other amazing people that are on our platform. Jacob Maxwell, which is the CEO of our organization, and Gary Minson, the CFO, COO of our organization. So we also have amazing sponsors as well, and we'll get to them in just a little bit. But I say the best way to start off is to ask a coach who won the Natty, like, Coach, how was it even possible for you to get there?
I'll tell you, man, we got some special kids with time that love the game of ball. They love each other. They love to compete. Never back down from any kind of challenge. And then just watching that highlight film there, just all the memories, just the path to get there, all the reps, all the practice, and then just kids coming through. And I won't go through all the details of that game, but man, talk about pressure situations, and these kids just acted like they were walking through, Central Park, cool as a cucumber, and just coming through in the clutch and stuff like that. I don't care if you're in the Super Bowl and you're Tom Brady, or you're playing for the national championship with Georgia and Alabama, or at the championship 77 turn, I guess it would have been last April, last May. You can't tell if there's any difference than Tom Brady winning the Super Bowl. In those moments, that's all that matters. And so we're looking forward to creating more of those memories, more of the competition. Appreciate the quality of the tournaments that you guys always hold, and looking forward to this weekend, like I said.
Coach, I'm going to throw out some stats for you just so people out here can recognize. There might be some people watching that just don't understand. Coach, that day where y'all won the Natty, you went 7 wins, 0 losses. 7 wins, 0 losses on that tournament. On top of that, Coach, y'all put up 223 points. I'm going to say that one more time for the audience members that are hard of hearing. Y'all put up 223 points. You allowed your opponents 34 points. That's 3-4. 34 points.
That's nuts.
How do you explain that, Coach?
Talented kids, first off, and then we have to make every throw in the field. His IQ is second to none, and we sling it. It's no huddle, fast pace, up tempo offense, and if we don't score every drive, we are genuinely disappointed. That's just our mindset, and we have a lot of work to do, and tomorrow, and continue to drill on the details. But when we're in a game situation, it is full throttle, and that's on defense too. We have an attacking style defense. We don't take any reps off, and we want to find players that buy into that, not only our system, but with that mindset of winning the rep.
That's big. That's real big, man. I mean, those numbers are outrageous. Like 34 points in 7 games at the national championship event. That's second to none, right? And then you guys go to the World Championship in Texas, and just barely. And by how many points? 1. I mean, it was decided by such a small margin. You guys are outrageously talented, right? And then obviously we got a fine young man on the screen as well, right? That's your QB1. That young man slings the rock. You said it yourself, man. That's what you do. You come out and you throw the ball, right? Fast, upbeat, no huddle. And that catches the defense. That's not good for the defense, right? They don't give them time to take a break, catch their breath. None of that, because QB1 Tyler, boy, he's coming out slinging. And if you looked at that highlight reel, the boy can throw the ball. And that's when he was 10 years old, probably between 9 and 10, give or take.
Yeah.
And now he looks like a grown little man, 11 years old, ready to go. So man, let me get back to this agenda, man. Unless you got it in front of you, Steve, I got to pull it back up. But I want to make sure we stay on topic. Make sure we get the points across, man. Let me see.
No, I mean, Tyler, come on.
See,
come on, Tyler. This is all you right here.
Yeah. So check it out, man. So Tyler, while Steve figures out his technical difficulties, how about you tell us what we can expect to see from you and your Fighting Irish this weekend in Florida?
You should expect lots of friendship, leadership, and wins.
Friendship lead, man. My man. He keeps everything short, sweet, to the point. Like nothing left out. Very, very detailed in 3 words. I love it. So, coach, man, on your more detailed side of the game, right? So, from a coach's point of view, what can we
Yeah.
expect to see from the Fighting Irish this weekend, man? The defending national champions.
Yeah, again, we fly around. We play very fundamentally sound. We're going to attack the ball in the air. We're gonna play for each other, like Tyler said, and we're going to up our coaches to try to give the offensive coordinator and the quarterback something to think about. But that said, it's 7 guys on that field playing together, playing your responsibility, not trying to be greedy, not trying to be a superstar and make a play when it's not your play to make, and have fun doing it. And I'll tell you this about Tyler. He's a man of few words. But and I'm not just saying this as a coach. Obviously, I'll probably sound a little biased, but for an 11-year kid, his work ethic. I've been around athletes. I played at USF. I've been around athletes all my life. His work ethic is literally second to none of any college athlete I've been around. He's 11. His football IQ, his leadership, his ability to perform under pressure. You can talk about all the physical attributes, his arm strength, his accuracy. Again, I'll put against anybody, and I see it every single day. The kid just simply doesn't have off days. So I feel just so privileged and honored to be able to coach a kid like that. And then he leads and everybody else follows. We have a lot of talented wide receivers and skilled players, linemen, et cetera, and tackle. But they are following Tyler. They're following his work ethic. They're following his leadership, and it's every single day. The kid doesn't take a day off, whether it's leadership or his workouts. He's probably had 19 workouts today, and it's what 7:30. But
on
I'm
top,
kidding. But the kid,
hold on,
the
hold on.
kid,
On
he
top of
puts
going
the
to
work in,
school,
man.
right? Well, he's had all those workouts on top of going to school, hanging out in Miss Rizzo's math class, right, where he's getting all the mathematic knowledge, right? So this young man, he stays busy from sunup to sundown, man, until he closes his eyes and goes to sleep. He eats, sleeps, breathes, and probably plays video games of football, right? That is the true
7
definition.
days a week.
I love it. I love it.
Well, what's it?
Yeah.
What's it? Who does he play when he plays though? So are you playing? Are you playing like Madden? Do you play Madden?
A lot of it.
Okay, who do you play when you play Madden? You got to tell us. Tell us now. Come on.
Who do I play? Like,
What's your favorite squad
I
to
use
rock with?
the Cardinals. They're really good.
Look, man, a little Kyler Murray, right? You rolling outside the box and using that 98 speed or whatever they blessed him with and hitting it. And he can sling the rock too. So look, man. So Tyler, let me just get to know you a little bit more, man. Who do you look up to in the football world? Who's your inspiration, your motivation? Who do you want to be like?
Definitely Tom Brady. His leadership and his winning is just great.
That's huge. And he's a Buck now, right? So you don't have to
Mhm.
travel to Foxborough to see him. You can just go down the road. Have you gone to a Bucks game and watched them play?
Yes, sir.
I love it, man. So what's it like watching Tom Brady play in person?
It's amazing just the way he reads the defenses and everything. It's like watching a video game.
Look at this guy. Talk about reading the defense. 11 years old, man. That's
He
nuts.
does.
I mean, what
I'm
did we expect?
thoroughly
What did we
impressed.
expect?
I love it, man. I am thoroughly enjoying having you on the show tonight, man. That is super cool. So, Steve, man, what else do you got for these guys before we let them get back to their workouts for the night? Because it's not bedtime yet. He's still got a couple more workouts to get in.
I have to ask the questions. I have to ask the questions because this is just stuff that I do. I have to ask you, Tyler, who cooks better, your mom or your dad?
My mom for sure.
What's the go-to meal?
And
Tacos.
Tacos. Now, are we talking like, ground beef with Old El Paso, taco seasoning? Or are we talking from scratch, almost street taco style? I'm talking, chicken. I'm
From
talking
scratch.
steak. I like it. So what type of protein you got in the tacos, man? What's the favorite protein?
Beef.
Okay. I like it, man. So, Steve, what else you got for him, man? Anything else?
I mean, I just want to ask him because I know I'm finna see him on Saturday anyway. So one more question for you, and this is just about you, Tyler. Okay, just about you. All right. Out of all the things in the world to be, what have you decided in your mind at 11 years old that you want to be when you grow up?
outside of the
The
game of
next Tom
football.
Brady.
Oh, so outside of being the next Tom Brady, because I think you most definitely got it in you. I mean, 11 years old, throwing the rock like you do, I think you got a very, very bright future, man. But outside of the game of football, what are you interested in, man? What do you like to do? You're still a 11-year-old kid, man. What do you like to do?
I like to play basketball and stuff like that.
So you just sports all the way around, man. If it's basketball, it's football.
Mhm.
You get on the golf course. You know, there's probably 15 golf courses within 3 minutes of your house because you're in Florida. I love it,
Mhm.
right? Look, I tell people all the time, man. I play golf, but I'm not a golfer. I go out there and I just hit the ball. Where it goes is where it goes. I just have fun while I do it, man. But that's cool, man. Anything else for these guys before we let them get
Man,
back to their
this is
nights?
awesome. These are national champions right here. They perform like champions. They act like champions. You could see when Tyler scored a touchdown, threw a touchdown pass. These people didn't lose their mind. They simply were just like, "Yes, we did it." To the extra point, as usual to people, and guess what? That's what makes a champion at any level. At any level. So proud of what they bring to the table, from the demeanor of just Coach Mize, the way he is, to the demeanor of Tyler. Just awesome. And I want to give a shout out to Tyler's dad for allowing us to do this as well, Steve Harrison. Can you tell us the name of your dad's business real quick, Tyler?
Tampa Sports Academy.
Tampa Sports
Tampa
Academy.
Sports Academy. So if you out there running around looking for a place to make your home and make your body do what it needs to do, go ahead and give Tyler's dad a shout out in Tampa. It seems like that's going to be good business. If he could do it for his son, he potentially could do it for you.
And not only that,
Love it.
man, you got the opportunity to work out with my guy QB1 right here, right? Tyler. You get to
Yes,
work out with
sir.
him 19 times a day, even on a school day, man. So check him out.
Yeah.
Doing big things down in Tampa. Like I said, I wish I could be there. Hopefully, I get to catch you guys at several other events during the season. But best of luck on defending your championship. Steve, you get to enjoy them in person. So, dap them up, give them high fives and kudos for me, and I'll do it virtually, man. So thank you, fellas, both for joining and jumping on. It was an absolute pleasure and honor.
We
Thank
appreciate you guys having us. Spotlight 39, TruXposur, Championship 77, first class all the way around. Can't wait to see you, Steve, this weekend, and Rob, get better.
I appreciate it, fella. Tyler, man, get some sleep. You got school in the morning.
Yes, sir.
All right, fellas, thank you. All right, so check it out. Let me pull this up on the screen while we transition. So I want to give a shout out to our official sponsors, right? As you see on the screen, we got Zenith, we got Yoked, and we got Grip Boost, man. Second to none, first class, all the way around. Definitely want to shout them out again. Zenith is powering the entire circuit this year. They are the go-to for anything and everything, headgear, accessories, and all the above. Then we got our team at Yoked, and then obviously at Grip Boost, man, doing real big things. So shout out to our sponsors. With that being said, man, let me cue up our next guest, man, because that's my fault. I kind of got wrapped up in the moment. Let me tell next coach he can join. Perfect. So while that's happening, man, let me take this back off screen. I'm gonna bring up my guy Steve again. I'm gonna switch gears, and we're gonna go to Coach AG. So when he jumps on, man, this is where he gets to rock out with, man. But this weekend, while we wait on AG, what can the folks expect to see at this championship 7v7 kickoff?
First and foremost, they're gonna be able to do something they've never been able to do before, which is basically get a bid to a state tournament with 7v7 Elite. Shout out to Lee Latner. We appreciate you so much. Great local affiliate, deep roots in football and sports in that area, working towards community engagement. 7v7 Elite program that Lee Latner runs. We really super appreciate you over here at TruXposur. We love to work with local organizations doing big things. Also, what you'll be able to get is a bid to our national tournament. So you come out and win your age division, you get a bid to the state tournament, a bid to the national tournament. The other thing you end up getting, which is amazing, is you're going for a 2. This is a rare occasion pilot program for us. You're getting 2 games on Sunday in a double elimination in bracket play.
Okay.
That is not something that we are accustomed to doing because in a national brand, we are oftentimes so far removed. Our players and teams come from all over. But for this time and this time only, we're going to take a look at that. It's going to be phenomenal to see our players be able to come out and get that 2-game playoff situation on Sunday. So that's something that they can really look forward to. Also, while we're waiting on Coach Wasim to come up, we have some other things that are going to be exciting about this. This will be our opportunity for you to be the first and center into our digital magazine. So if you come out and perform well, this will be giving you the opportunity to have the first videos for our digital magazine. And that new exposure running, it gives you more exposure. So that's something that we're really super excited about. We're super excited about our media team. Our media team is second to none. And even while Rob is not going to be there in person, we're going to try to set up a remote live segment so that we'll have people be able to come in and get that remote live segment. I see Coach Wasim is in the house.
There he is.
What's up, brother? Yeah, I'm in here. How you boys doing today?
Man, we out here, Coach.
Great, man. How about you, good fellas?
Look, man, I'm feeling as good as I possibly can. As good as I can. I'm here. But check it out, man. Real quick, if you take and turn your phone sideways for us, we won't be so zoomed in on your face. We'll be able to open up the background a little bit. There we go. My man. So Steve, man, I'm gonna let you go ahead and because my throat's starting to get a little dry. I'm gonna let you go ahead and run this conversation, and I'll chime in. But I'm gonna let you do the bulk of the talking if you're good with that.
Oh, no problem. Just want to first and foremost let y'all know who we got on the platform right now. We got Coach Wasim. First and foremost, everything about Coach Wasim is fixing to break down for you youngins out there trying to start a 7-on-7 program. Coach Wasim is going to give you the business right now. He's going to turn it off, the history of what he's been able to do with these programs over the year. He might bless you with some name dropping of some of the phenomenal athletes that he's had an opportunity to bless through his program and some of the things that have happened along the way to allow for him to be the go-to person for advice and guidance in the 7-on-7 world. All right. So Coach Wasim, why don't you break it down for us in your special way? Introduce yourself, talk about your background, and tell us a little bit about basically how did you get started in the game?
Okay, first of all, Happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully, I see my phone is acting up, but hopefully y'all can see me and hear me.
Look, man, we got good audio. We got 4K video when you stay still, but nonetheless, we got audio, so we're rocking. We're good.
All right, well, let's get it then. Yeah, man, I'm A.G. Wasim. Been around for a long time, over since 2009 with 707. Basically, we started out, me and a gentleman by the name of E.4 Ratliff. We started a team, and quickly rose to prominence. Before I started doing all this, I was doing college bus tours because, like the name says, true exposure. If you're not getting exposure, really, it doesn't matter. Unfortunately, 707 now is to the point where, it's 1,000. Everybody got a team now. But there still are some great quality 707 organizations out there. And, I just would advise every parent to make sure that you get to know those guys. We've had quite a few guys come through the program, quite a few NFL guys going all the way back to Marcel Harris and Matt Milano, and guys all over, that played with us. Derwin James played some tournaments with us. A lot of guys that are doing well, like Duke Dawson, the guy there, Keanu Hill, just to name a few. But more thing I'm important about is more of the kids that went off to school and got degrees. The Garrett Johnsons that, went to Kentucky, that, the Dexter Williams that, got his degree from Notre Dame. And I'm more concerned about those kids. I've done college bus tours for years, got kids, all over the country that are still playing. We do our legends showcase, not the guys who stole our name, but we do our legends showcase junior all-star game here in Florida. where we have the top juniors in the state go against each other. So I've been around a minute. I just hope that, people are in this for the right reason. I appreciate you guys for trying to get them, true exposure out there. But there's a lot of guys that are trying to make their name off of these kids, pressuring kids, calling kids to be on 7-on-7 teams. I just had a conversation with a kid and his mom a few seconds ago about that. So, we want these kids, if the kids don't have certain GPA, what they playing 7-on-7 for?
That's it.
Because you guys are going to write them up. You're going to have the articles. But then when the coach check their grades, they can't play. So I would always ask parents, like signing day is a great reflection of the 7-on-7 team. How many kids do you have? Where did they sign to? Because I've seen teams that have won championships with kids that were tremendous, but they're not going to school, which is crazy.
That's nuts,
Because
man.
like I told a parent today, this kid, I'm not gonna say his name, but he's gonna be probably top 15 in the country by the time it's said and done. But like I said, if his grades ain't straight, what would I be like as a coach? So I told him, I'm gonna hold him to a standard, man. You got to give me a 3.0 to play. If you can't give me a 3.0, you can go play with somebody else if they let you. But it's bigger than that. Because like my good friends say, we from Texas. So a good friend of mine, that's on the show, we a little different. We only know one way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, coach, now there's somebody out there, they starting off as a father or mother, because now we have girls 7-on-7 coming up
No doubt.
now. So as somebody who's been in the game for a while, what would you tell that person, their child getting to about 6 or 7 years old? What would you tell them the first thing they should say at their team meeting when they get in that team together?
First of all, if you're doing 7-on-7 with 6 and 7 years old, that's a problem anyway. Them kids should just be having fun. What do we do? What a 6, 7-year-old man? A kid don't know what he want to do at 6, 7 years old. Hell, I wanted to be, man. Y'all don't know nothing about Billy Jack, but I wanted to be Billy Jack bad, bro. I'm talking about y'all don't know. Hey, man, I was a little
Oh,
kid, Billy
I'm about to
Jack. I
Google
wanted,
Billy Jack.
yeah, Billy Jack one said, "Hey, I'm gonna take this foot, I'll kick you on this side." But that's old school. If Major Payne, that was a tribute to him.
Yes,
Major
sir.
Payne, boy, I'm gonna put my foot in your.
That part. That part. So no, I would tell parents at an appropriate age. I think 7-on-7, maybe 10 is like the lowest you go. See, Billy Jack. That's what I'm saying, right? So man, hey, go watch the movie, man. Billy Jack was the man.
I'm gonna
But
check it out.
I'm telling you, just parents, when you get started, let the kids have fun. Like at 10 to really probably, like, in my opinion, like until they get to 14, they should be having fun and make sure that they're around somebody that's teaching them the game.
That's it.
I mean, if they're 10 years old and they don't know the route, like the coach ain't really teaching them the route tree, then that's when they learn. You can actually give kids a lot more information. You can teach them cover two. They may not be good at it, but we just want to make sure they understand it, because as their body grows, as they get more physically developed, guess what? They're gonna know what they're doing.
That's
You know,
it.
and so you just want to get with a program that emphasizes learning when they're young. And also, if you're that parent, you have to be a part of the program. So this stuff costs money. These coaches are spending time with your child for free. So when they ask you to get some water, or they ask you, hey, if you're a parent, like in my case, I run an organization, but I still pay for my son's stuff. Like I literally run an organization where we get free gear and all that, and I still pay for my son's stuff, because that's just fair, you know.
It.
And then if you can, and I also pay for other kids that I know they just don't have it, So when you become a part of the organization, help out, make sure that because it really is about the kids, because I come up from an age, I'm 52, where when I went to my friend's house, I ate whatever they ate, and vice versa,
That's it. That's it.
So
That's it.
we have to be our brother and mother's keeper. So so yeah, that's what I would tell them. Just make sure that they get with a good organization. Don't rush it. Let them have fun. Let them have a lot of fun, so that they can fall in love with the game.
All right, now, coach. Now you set the team up the right way. We got the team set up. What's the thing, parents? You said the parents should be able to support their children in some capacity if they can. But what will help set a parent up for success over the 20 years that you've been in the game doing this? Plus, what would help a parent get set up, their mentality get set up for their children to engage in 7-on-7?
First thing is you have to set a standard with these grades. If they don't have a certain grade point average, we're not playing 7-on-7. That's number one. If you try to be in the 7-on-7, you take your kid out there, he needs to be training as well. Like, so if he's a wide receiver, hey, it's bigger than just coming to a 7-on-7 tournament. If he's a wide receiver, y'all gonna play usually Friday, Saturday. But hey, maybe Tuesday, Thursday, he goes to this wide receiver coach, and they go over route running, because ultimately 7-on-7 is a bunch of different routes, but you as that individual wide receiver, you got to break off your route. So if you got a kid that can't run a dig, you know, and a quarterback is trying to give him something, have him run a dig because he's running something behind it, it hurts the whole 7-on-7 aspect. So the kids got to know the game. Parents, let the guys coach. That's another thing. This is just 7-on-7. This is not. Hold on, sweetheart. I'm on a call. Thank you. Though. It's my wife's birthday, y'all. So
Look. We got to shout her out, man. We got to shout her out. Happy birthday, man. We live. We got to give her birthday love, right?
Jalila Ali Wasim, get in the room, woman. See, that's how you do it. Y'all don't know about that, but that's how you do it. I'm gonna pay for that later, just so y'all know. So kids,
I know.
Don't do that.
Oh,
kids,
I know.
Whatever you do, don't do that. That was me showing out on TV, and I'm gonna pay for that later. So
yes,
don't do
sir.
that. But I mean, parents, we want you to be successful, but you have to, at the end of the day, take your kid to someone you trust. Because that's something I notice with parents, because they'll move around from 7-on-7 team, 7-on-7, but that's because they don't trust the guy. And, me as a parent, I'm going to look at there's other organizations. I know I do a great job, but South Florida Express, those guys do a great job of helping their kids get in school. Team Tampa, they win and they do a great job of helping their kids get in school. Like, to me as a parent, I want, if you're not helping my kid get in school, that's why I said as a parent, I'm going to always ask, show me the kids that played your program that went to college. Because if they're not going to college, what am I playing for you for? Seriously. So that's really what a parent can do to help, make sure they do the right decision as far as their kid. Because it's not about the gear and we give out free gear and all that, but it really ain't about the gear. It's about how are we helping you to get into school.
How can community organizations and businesses, how can they really support when they see coaches doing a great job? How can they support those coaches? Because those coaches have firsthand relations with those children. They're able to get in their ear and tell them the right direction and to keep them on the right path. How can community organizations help you all help those children?
When you say community organizations, you're talking about like a Publix or a supermarket, HEB, or are you talking about like the local Pop Warner teams that have their kids play for your organization?
Actually, I'm focused more on corporations at this time. Any
Okay.
corporations, any
Well,
even religious organizations, what can they
right.
do to help support y'all?
Well, the biggest thing they can do is financial support. Any financial support that you can get for them, because the reality is, every tournament charges. Every tournament is going to charge you. Every tournament is going to have a fee. So, but and
Coach,
then in some cases,
I need you to adjust your camera for me because I want people to hear you and see you say that so that they can understand.
yeah, every tournament, and it's a delay because my finger's not even. Hold on, let me see. Let me make sure. Okay, can you see me
There
now?
you go.
There we are.
Okay, every tournament has a fee. Like in life, there's nothing free. The key is go championships on 7 is a good experience. You got to just feel like you're getting your money's worth, and so you're definitely getting your money's worth. So, but what corporations and parents can do, and I've had parents like this, they worked for corporations. They made sure they worked for McDonald's, so they made sure that we had food for the kids, or they worked, for Hilton, and they made sure we had hotels for the kids, or they knew someone that worked at these companies. So parents have to really be your biggest supporter and go out, because if we're travel all over the country and do all that kind of stuff, that costs money. Airplane flights. I had a parent that worked for Southwest that ended up getting us vouchers.
Oh, that's
Things like that nature. So, those are the things that parents, because, the corporations aren't going to necessarily support 7-on-7 teams like that, but they will if someone in their organization, like one of the parents that works for them, say, hey, I have this going on for my team. They'll do that all day. So it's up, I do the same thing with my college bus tour. I get donations and stuff, to help these kids go, because, a lot of parents, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to help as many kids as I'm able to do.
Coach, tell us why you started the college bus tours. Tell us you started.
Story. So, I already took some kids to campus. True story. And it's going to involve Texas. You'll love this. But I took some kids, and we had a 7-on-7 season, and season was over with. And I had like 4 or 5 kids who were really good. Me and Keywan Ratliff got in the car, drove a kid to. What happened was the coach was saying, "Hey," which is parents don't understand this, but to get a committable offer, hey, you're going to have to come to camp, or I'm going to have to get you on campus and work you out so the coach can see you. So I had 3 coaches tell me that from 3 different schools. And the kids were great kids. I fell in love with them. So me and Keywan drove a kid to Memphis. He worked out for the coaches, got an offer. Then we drove a kid went from Memphis to Louisville. And then we went to Cincinnati, and the kid got an offer. Then we went to Kentucky, and Garrett Johnson got an offer. And but on that trip, we saw a bunch of. It was all just us in the car, and on that trip, we saw a bunch of guys with buses, and like they had 2 buses, man, and they were from. So we started chopping up. They were from Texas. I'm from Texas, and the dude was like, "Man, dude, all your dudes are getting offered," and I'm like, "Man, but you got this bus for 50 kids," and he was like, "Man, I'm just getting paid," and I was like, "Huh?" And he charged like $2,500 and had a full bus, bro. I'm telling you. And my thing was, I'm not gonna do that. So I just do my bus for cost. I really do. Like I just help the kids out because, but the thing about the bus, when I saw him on the bus, I said, man, that would be cool because I was tired of driving. So then I started the bus. I started the bus trip, and then we started going, and then it led to like I deal with all the college coaches, and it's been very popular, and my bus trip now, that's where I really get kids offers. Because, at the end of the day, you can do all the 7-on-7. And what it does, it helps prepare you for when you go to a college trip and you have to do one-on-ones.
That's it.
That's what it does.
Hey, Coach.
When it's time to do one-on-ones, that's what it does.
Hey, Coach, man, let me just chime in here because your story goes hand in hand with another feel-good story that I've got, man. And and I brought it up before, so Steve, you probably recognize it. But my man, Jack White Lightning Luttrell, right? From Grind Factory 7v7. Right? He shared his story when I had him on as just an individual, student athlete interview, and he shared his story about just what you talked about. He rocked with 7-on-7, had 0 offers, wasn't ranked, had no real conversations with any coach of any level, had a stellar 7v7 season, right? And then went on a bus tour with the Grind Factory and did exactly what you just said, man. Went out, used those skills, right? Showed out at these events, and then more importantly, it led to multiple offers. It led to multiple offers because he was recognized from the 7v7, right? Which a lot of people will doubt that 7 versus 7 isn't real football, and it's not this, it's not that, it doesn't help the kids, right? But from my perspective and from his story, it speaks volume to exactly what 7v7 really is, man. Like it's a great exposure platform, but it's also a great opportunity to sharpen your skill set and play against some of the best talent, in your age group. And then when he went on his bus tour and he went to these different programs, the young man, he said coaches referenced his play at these events. And then when he did his one-on-ones and then when he went to camps, that's where the offers just started blowing up. And now he's committed to Tennessee, a Power 5 SEC program, in less than, 8-9 months. It's outrageous how important 7v7 is for exposure, for the skill set sharpening. But then, like you said, man, you got to take that and use it to your advantage and add it to these college visits. And for you doing bus tours, man, that's big. And the fact that you do it for cost and you're not out to go in parents' pockets, man, and take from the needy. Right, you're giving back to the community, right, man. You're doing the right things for the right reasons, and I commend you for that, man. I just needed to chime in, share that story because it went hand in hand with exactly what you said. So I'm gonna go ahead and let Steve take back over because I feel the sweats, starting to pop back off.
Nah, Coach, I'm not gonna do you like that. Tell your wife happy birthday for us. We appreciate you so much, Coach.
We got one more question, Steve. We got one more question. It's hot off the press from our guy Gary. Our guy Gary wants to know one thing, Coach. Before you jump off here, he wants me to ask, who's your fiercest competitor on the 7v7 circuit and why?
South Florida Express. They've been close. South Florida Express
Oh,
has always been our officials compared to them and a place between them and Team Tampa
Okay.
and Boone. Like those them Team Tampa and Boone, because those are the teams that we usually all end up in the championships of tournaments. Like when you go to the Adidas Nationals, all those teams are there, and then of course when you go to Nationals, unfortunately, the thing about 707 I don't like is that kids are now changing teams, and they'll play for one team 1 week, and but when you go to Adidas Nationals, you're gonna get the best of the best because the kids want to go because they want to get all the gear.
That's it.
So when we show up, it's a dog fight, and it's always a dog fight between those two. South Florida Express, they're loaded. They Miami. So like if they get every kid in Miami, that's why when we them down there, it was a great accomplishment because their team was loaded. They had 25 D1 kids. That a lot of them you saw playing
25? Coach,
Georgia.
did you say
and
25?
yeah, 25. Yeah, 25, Power 5. I'm talking about, I'm not D, I'm talking about 25 like SEC, ACC, Big 12. Like nobody on their team, had anything that was under that. And we beat those guys. We had maybe about 15 guys that went D1, like Power 5. But we ended up beating them. And that was, a great accomplishment. But they definitely, they're the standard. Brett, and they do a tremendous job, as far as, getting a lot of talent. But once again, they're in Miami. So, they have a lot to choose from. And Team Tampa probably, for my money, they do more with less. Team Tampa has less talent, but they always, they're always very well coached. So, those are, and then like I said, Boom is another one. They don't have all the talent because, they've Midwest kids. But no disrespect to Midwest kids, but y'all just saying, yeah, they don't grind like, kids in the South because they can't. It's like up there right now, it's 20 degrees, with snow. So,
It's like 20 degrees in Virginia right now. Shoot.
But they do a great job they do a tremendous job of coaching, their kids up too.
Yeah. Coach,
And there's some teams out
say,
west like Fast Houston. Fast Houston always has a good team, but then their team changes every week because they're gonna just go out there. That's one thing I don't like about 707. You got coaches out here paying kids stuff for free. I love 707 when I had those boys that we was practicing 3-4 days a week and they was paying for everything. And we wasn't giving them cleats or nothing. They was just trying to get it out the mud. They was serious about their craft, and some along the way, it has to go back to that, where these kids are getting more serious about their craft. Because guess what? When you go on that college tour and you put your coach, it's gonna show if you're serious about your craft or not.
That's it,
also,
man.
You'll end up sitting that bench. You'll sit that bench in college if you come out and you think you're hot stuff out of high school.
I had a kid that was probably the number one 707 wide receiver 3 years ago. He went off to school, and y'all don't even know who he is. Number one wide receiver, he was number one wide receiver in 707. I won't say his name, but him and number 1 and 2, and neither one of them in college right now. Matter of fact, the number 2 kid was actually ranked the top rated wide receiver in the class.
Oh wow!
And y'all, he's been to 2 colleges and hasn't touched the field yet.
Man,
I had a kid that 2 years ago, he was the number 1 rated player in the whole country, All American. Nowhere to be found. So he just wanted to be number 1. He didn't like to grind. He didn't like to work.
Understand that, Coach. Understand that. Again, I'm going to say I appreciate you so much for taking your time, and then also on a birthday night. I don't know how you said yes, but we're gonna get you free and let you be free at last. I appreciate you, Coach. I can't wait to see you at the tournament. And I appreciate your time. I appreciate the stuff you do. And what's gonna happen is we're gonna jump on this call. We're gonna talk to one of your other coaches, Coach AJ, and give him an opportunity to talk about his 18U team coming up. And so if you don't mind, Rob, we're going to go ahead and get this transition on. Coach, you have a great night. I appreciate you so much.
Y'all boys be good.
All right.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Coach.
Be good. Peace.
Bang. So check it out. Let me bring my guy, Coach Brooks, in. Make sure I get him placed right. Nope. Bang. There he is. There's Coach Brooks, live and in color. While we wait on Coach Mitchell to join. Steve, I just got a quick question for you that was brought up in the chat. talking about how people encourage student athletes to play multiple sports, but a lot of them respond with "I can't because I'm doing 7v7." How does 7v7 and playing multiple sports conflict with each other, or what might a workaround be?
Well, before I say that, Rob, you might have to come back. Something's happening with your cam real quick here. You're camming on, so it's giving
Yeah,
me a black screen on you. But I will say this: there doesn't have to be a conflict. Each person can decide what sports work well for them. But a lot of times, parents have to make those decisions. And when you're getting up into the 16, 17-year-old age range, your coaches sometimes make those decisions for you. So I will say this: I'll look at track. I look at soccer. I look at basketball. And so when someone tells me that they want to do something off football, and this is kind of one of those off-season moments where you're kind of still keeping yourself being limber and working at your craft. I've heard from multiple fathers over the years that's had very successful sons. They've told their sons, you have to make a choice. If you're going to work on this craft and be great, you're going to have to put some time in on it. And so
okay.
I would say that it's not a conflict outright. It just depends on where your priorities are. And man, that's a great way to segment into these amazing coaches coming online now, because these two coaches are going to be on the field 18U head to head.
Head to head. So with that being said, man, look, Coach Brooks, you've been rocking with us in the green room for a little while. I appreciate that. Hopefully you've enjoyed some good conversation, kind of got an idea of what the flow looks like. But I want you to go ahead and just formally introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, where you're from, who you rock with, and anything else that you might want us to know about who Coach AJ Brooks is.
Okay, cool. Well, my name is Coach AJ Brooks, head coach of Certified Dogs 18U high school team. I'm a football guy through and through. Went to college playing ball. Came back home and wanted to get into coaching, so to speak. So now I'm training and just coaching 7-on-7. Been there for the past 6 years. Head coach of Certified Dogs for the last 3 years. So it's been cool. Been a nice ride so far.
Good deal, man. So look, Coach Mitchell. Hopefully you can hear me, but your video quality is really dark and non-existent, and you look frozen. So if you can hear me, jump off the broadcast, jump back on, and turn your phone sideways, and we'll be solid, man. But while he's trying to get that figured out, Steve, man, go ahead and get this conversation started with Mr. Coach Brooks, and then
Yeah.
Coach Mitchell will join us here in a few minutes, hopefully.
Yeah, coach, look, I'm going to just ask you straight up. Who's your dogs? Who's the person that you're going to put the ball in their hands on a play where you got to get that first down?
Man, I mean, you see the team name is Certified Dogs. So historically, we have a lot of options to choose from. But we do have CJ Baxter, the number 3 ranked running back in the whole country. We have Asad Wasim, slot receiver, several Power 5 offers. We have Derek Rogers, Goldie Lawrence. I mean, I'll be honest, we're pretty loaded. So we got options.
Yeah. And so let me say like this. Behind every reception is a great quarterback. Who's going to be your QB number 1 on Saturday?
QB1, that's Luke Rucker. He's a junior at Sanford High School. They went deep in the playoffs. They lost to Apopka. I think the game before states, maybe in the regionals. So Luke Rucker, he's the quarterback, QB1, and then backing him up will be Traven Green from Rockledge.
Now, which one is older, coach?
Luke is a junior, Traven is a sophomore. So we'll get Traven back again next year. But this will be
Okay.
Luke's final.
Hey, perfect. Hey, Steve, real quick, man. Let me just get my guy, Coach Mitchell. Make sure we're lined up on audio and video. Can you hear us and can you see us?
Man, I can hear you, but y'all sound like some chickmunks. I'm not gonna lie. Something's wrong with my audio on my side.
You sound good on my end, so we'll rock with it, man. If you're on a phone, if you turn it sideways, you won't be so zoomed in. Because right now, I was straight staring at your forehead. There you go. So
There
what?
we go. There we
Perfect.
go. There
So
you go.
look, Coach Mitchell, man, go ahead. I'm gonna give you the opportunity to formally introduce yourself as well. Tell the world who you are, what you do, you know, who you rock with, anything else that you want us to know about who Coach Mitchell is.
All right, I'm gonna try to answer that question to the best of my ability because I told you y'all sound like some chick monks. But yeah, my name's Coach Mitchell, man. I work in the education field. I'm a teacher over at Audubon Park, K through 8. I coach DBs at West Orange High School. Had a lot of success in this Orlando area coaching. I coached at Oak Ridge High School, as well as Winter Park High School, and then my trip where I'm at right now is West Orange High School, and we just came off of a third round appearance, lost to Venice in third round of the playoffs. Hats off to those guys, and 7-on-7 seasons here. I
72
started
hours.
7-on-7. I started 7-on-7 a few years back. As a matter of fact, with AG and AJ, Keywan Ratliff. I actually coached with all these guys before on the same team, which was the Rat Pack team when Keywan Ratliff was here. I was able to be a part of the very first team that came about with Keywan Ratliff's team, the Rat Pack. We had players that featured Naquan Murray that played at Florida State, D'Angelo Antoine that played at University of South Florida, Jalen Julius that played at Ole Miss. So I've been around this area now for some years, and I've coached 7-on-7 for years now. I took last year to something start something on my own, and I was very fortunate to really run into a real good group of guys, that had the same views and the same values that I had, and we were able to start up 24K. 24K pretty much started about with an idea that you have a 24-man roster and all these kids are kings, and we wanted to treat the kids like kings, and that's why we have a crown on top of our logo, and it's just something that we wanted it to mean something, and the youth that's out there, we're trying to give back and do what we can on that aspect. We're just something for the kids and have fun with football. 7-on-7 is a real fun thing. It's real fun. It's an all-season sport, and it's a pleasure to compete and coach against all these good coaches and these great organizations, and the platforms that are putting these things on for these kids.
I love it, man. So
Yeah, I
Steve,
appreciate that.
go ahead, take it from me, man. You lead the
Yeah, I
convo.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. We're gonna have some audio, a little audio here. So if it does sound a little different on your side, just know that you're coming through clear on ours. Okay. Coach, I'm gonna ask you, Coach Mitchell, because I just asked Coach Brooks. Coach Mitchell, who do you got right now on your squad that's your go-to receiver?
Can you repeat that question one more time for me? I'm sorry, I told you, man, this
Yes,
audio
sir.
on my side is awful.
Yeah. Who do you have that's your go-to wideout?
Woo! Well, I got a guy who became TikTok famous last year ago, a year ago with me, uh, Anthony Benjamin. To me, he's probably one of the more electrifying wide receivers, slot wide receivers that I've ever seen. And he took what he did in 7-on-7 and he applied it to his high school game, 11-on-11, and he was doing the same exact things that he did in 7-on-7. He did them with pads on. So he's coming back. He's one of my returning guys, and I mean he's going to be a real fun guy to watch. We also have a gentleman by the name of Eddie Combs, Satellite High School. He is electric. He's explosive. I feel like we really got to steal out of Brevard County. That county produces some of the best talent around in the state, and that I feel like we got some guys that are out of that county that are really going to make some noise here in the next few years in the state of Florida.
Okay. So and who's slinging the rock for you? Who's your QB1?
Say it again.
Who's your QB1, coach? Who's your quarterback, number one quarterback?
QB1 right now when we start this season is Blake Boda out of Seabreeze High School. He goes about 6'2", about 175 pounds, lefty. He played with us last year. He was able to win a championship in Myrtle Beach against and Cam Newton's offense-defense tournament that we attended. And he won that. He was the quarterback. You know, we put the game on his arm, and he pulled through for us. So, I mean, he's a real good piece coming back. It's a familiar face to the program. It's a kid that, you know, we're confident in, and we feel like he can do some real big things as well as get his name out there as far as the recruiting world goes. You know, being a quarterback is real hard to get recruited, and, you know, he's another guy that's under the radar, but he's going to pick up steam going forward.
All right, Coach Brooks, give me your DBs. You got 2 or 3 DBs over there that seem like they're gonna have some work. You tell me about your DBs, Coach.
Well, DBs, we got a lot of depth this year at DBs. We got a lot of sophomores and freshmen who already have Power 5 offers. Seminole, we probably have half of their defensive backfield. We got Brandon James at Evans. We got Philip Davis at Lake Wells. Cameron Mills at Vieira. And then just to put it out there, it's another free agent out there that we working on. So we'll see how that goes at the end of the day.
All right, Coach. Now let me ask you something. A lot of times we see, and I'm gonna come back to you over here, Coach Mitchell, because you say you DB coach in your high school job. So I'm gonna come back to you in a second. But Coach Brooks, you tell me your perception as a coach. First and foremost, are you an offensive or defensive minded coach?
Well, I played running back in college, so I'm on the offensive side of things. I like to think that I'm well versed and I know the game, but I actually call the plays on the offensive side of the ball.
All right. So, Coach, when you look out and you see man coverage every play, what are you thinking?
Lunch meat.
You see man coverage every play. Ain't no zone. It's just straight up man. Because you know some teams come out run a zone in 7-on-7. Some run man.
Yeah.
Which one do you prefer to see across from you?
I mean, I want team to try to run man. You know, I just think a lot of times we have superior athletes, and when it's man on man, that's when my guy against your guy. A lot of times it's a lot easier for my guy to make a play. So I would definitely prefer man any day.
All right. Now, Coach Mitchell, you the DB guy. You over there working with DBs. Probably you're a defensive scheme guy, right?
You want to know my defensive scheme?
No. I don't want to know your
Say?
defensive scheme. I said you're a defensive scheme guy. So what defense would you think if you out there doing defense? Do you think that the man-on-man defense is superior to the zone defense in 7-on-7 or opposite?
Man, listen, I run both of them in 7-on-7. A lot of times, guys and OCs, you know, they a lot of times guys get greedy and they just want to hit big plays. And against man coverage, a lot of times, depending on the talent that you have, big plays are going to happen against man. So zone just gives you an opportunity for a quarterback to go sit there and dink and dunk. Eventually, they might make a mistake. You know what I mean? And as long as you can keep the ball in front, live to see another down, man, that's how, you know, that's just kind of how we did all last year. Last year was a big keep the ball in front, make plays when it arrives. You know, try not to miss any opportunities on big plays, tip balls, drop passes. I think we did a great job of capitalizing on those type of things. But, you know, making an offense have to drive is something good in 7-on-7 because eventually that ball is going to bounce your way. So, you know, we just try to, you know, next down mentality and try to keep everything in front of us. So, I mean, I'm a zone and man guy. I think short down the distance, you know, third and short, second and short. Yeah, we're going man because we want that window small. You know, we want to keep that window as small as possible, make these quarterbacks be accurate.
All right, so let's just chop it up then. So y'all played each other's squads before, correct?
We haven't. We haven't.
Oh, so this is gonna be a first time ever competition with y'all?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Against one another, without us being on the same sideline.
Oh,
I
wow.
believe. I mean,
wow.
I think last year. I think last year, that one with fire, but I don't know if we counting that. But yeah. But besides that,
Yeah,
this would
I
be
mean,
the first time with 24K, correct?
So certified versus 24K. First time is happening this weekend in sunny Florida. Is that what's happening?
Let's
yes,
do it.
sir.
Wow, I
Look,
mean, it's a
man.
powerhouse. Powerhouse. You just had Coach Wasim on say that basically, you know, man, for his money, he said that team out of Miami, whoo. He said they hot fire. Now here's the question, Coach Mitchell. Have you ever played against that team out of Miami?
Yeah,
Hey, hats off to Ricky and those guys. That's a well-oiled machine out there, man. Listen, I'm gonna be a realist, dog. I'm not gonna sit there and tell you any lies. I'm gonna be a realist. What Ricky got going on down there in South Florida, I respect those guys to the fullest. I think they do it. They do it pretty much. They're the standard. You know what I mean? And if any 7-on-7 team is trying to get to that point, I think that's you're aiming at a high spot. That's big praise. I do respect those guys. They get a ton of respect from me. Um,
Same for
they
you,
always have
Coach
those guys
Brooks.
ready to compete. Say it again.
Absolutely. If any 707 organization is really honest with themselves, South Florida Express, they're the standard, they're the premier team. In my opinion, I would say they're like Alabama. Like obviously Georgia just beat Alabama.
He just dropped Bama on us.
It
Okay.
happens from time to time. For instance, Chris, remember when we went down to Miami with Rat Pack, we beat them that year. It happens. It's hard to do, but last 7-on-7 season, they didn't lose a single game and no tournament played in. So
So
when
that's
you
the
think
that's
about
the Coach Saban. That's the Coach Saban organization of 7v7 is what we're saying.
correct, yeah. So it's much
Okay.
respect to
That's
South
that's
Florida
big
Express for
respect
sure.
right there. I like that.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb right now. So just in case people are watching this before I close, I'm gonna go ahead and open registration back up. If South Florida Express want to come up here and get some of this, I'd love for
Oh
y'all to come
nah,
up. I'm gonna
hey,
tell you
hey,
right
no.
now.
One time, hey, listen, invite them boys. I'm telling you, nah, you got to reach out to those guys. They bring a party. You know what I mean? I like that, and that's one thing that makes 707 fun because they do a lot of things that create fun. You know what I mean? You create fun with some of the things that they do. And you know what? They don't do anything with malicious intent, which is great by those coaches. You know what I mean? I think they talk to those players well enough that they treat the game with such respect. They have so much fun with it. And when I see kids have so much fun with it, the celebrations, the camaraderie that's built between 7-on-7 organizations, I'm pretty sure it goes down with Coach AJ Brooks' organization. They build camaraderie. I mean, you're building relationships. 7-on-7 is about building relationships. And that's one thing that we've been built on over here at 24K. It's all relationship based. Anything that I got, it's all from the mud. We started with black compression T-shirts. AJ Brooks
Come
allowed me
on.
to get helmets. He let me borrow helmets to go to a tournament before. All this stuff
Wait, you
started at the
saying wait,
bottom. I
you
had to
saying
start somewhere.
Coach Brooks organization allowed you to borrow like the headgear so y'all can go play in the tournament?
So we can go play in the tournament. And that was our hats off to AJ Brooks. I appreciate that a whole bunch when he did that. And
I
when I
should have
reached out
I
to
should
him,
have never let them hold them helmets, man. I let them hold them helmets. They start winning.
Look, man, the
I should
helmets.
have never
Look,
let them
that's
hold them damn
look,
helmets.
man. It's winter time, right? I still got like 4 inches of snow left over from that winter storm here in Virginia, man. So I'm gonna bring up the Frosty the Snowman. So look, you put that magic hat on Frosty, boy, he came to life, right? So you
Hell
bless
yeah.
my guy,
I can
Coach
get hats off of them.
Mitchell, with the headgear, and the squad came to life. Is that what you're saying? It
I
was the
mean,
magic in the
yeah, no,
headgear.
we let him hold a headgear. And he had a pretty solid nucleus squad, but he had a relationship with some of our players just from being on our staff. So a couple of them played with him, and it's all love on our end. It is what it is, but they won. They won the tournament. Easier said than done. You still got to go on the field and win, and that's what they did.
That's big time, man. That's
So I'm
big
gonna ask
time.
y'all a big question. This is a big question right here, especially for y'all men that got these teams. It seemed like both of y'all squatted up, and then so my question is, let's say, because we had a team in Texas that was a high school team by itself, nobody from the outside, just its own high school team. I'm gonna put the question out to y'all on live. This is True Exposure Live, so remember, once it's been said, you can't get it back. Is a high school team more competitive and can be a better system than a specialized team that has players from all over? You tell me. We'll go with
I,
seniority first. Oh, you want to take it first, Coach Mitchell? Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, I'll go ahead and say something on that. All right. If you took a high school team that had the players that IMG have on that level, right?
Man, that's
That
an
high school
international
level,
squad.
right? I'm shooting for the moon because this is a reality.
Sure.
Coach AJ Brooks' team, the team that I have, those kids are on those kind of levels. You know what I mean? Maybe not all Power Five, but guess what? They're all D1, Division 1 caliber players. So if you're telling me that I could take my team and we're gonna go play, a bottom feeder school that has been losing and going 0-10 every season, we're gonna beat the piss out of them. Just because they might not have the talent that we do. And I mean,
Okay,
it's
well,
still
well,
Jimmy's
Coach,
and Joe's.
wait a
You got to
second.
win your
What if
one-on-ones.
they won the state championship? What if they won the state championship?
They could be a really dangerous team because of how long they've been together and how long and the just knowing where each other is going to be, or knowing the job responsibility, the amount of hours that you put into practice. All that stuff is going to equate a team to a better team. When you have a 7-on-7 team, we can't practice every single day. It's just not real. It's not realistic in the off season when you got other sports going on. It's not realistic. So if you're asking me if you had a powerhouse high school team, yes, I think they can beat an elite 7-on-7 team, because the unity that they have, the camaraderie, all of that stuff as a team. They've been together, they play together, they're through a wall with each other with pads on. So it's a different mentality. I just think that those guys have more time with each other, and there's more opportunities for them to grow more so than AAU 7-on-7 team. But however, these elite 7-on-7 teams got some guys, and it is tough to really match up and compete with, guys that, I mean, just all world. So it's
Coach
tough.
Brooks, you gotta chime in here, Coach Brooks. Now come on, now you played running back in school and stuff. You know on the offensive side what cohesion look like. What you think? You gonna co-sign that?
I would say that it could go both ways, but I just think that at a certain point, yeah, like the high school team that has been together, they're gonna have more cohesion with one another. The quarterbacks know exactly where his receiver is gonna be because that's what they practice all year. I just know when you look at elite 7-on-7 teams, I mean, the players still have to make the plays. And when you look at rosters, for instance, our roster last year, we had kids going to Georgia, Penn State, Oklahoma, USF, UCF, Washington State. Like most high schools don't have those type of caliber recruits on one team. So for that aspect, I think it'd be harder. But for them being a team, I think it'd be easier for them to be able to compete. Whether or not they win or not, I definitely think they'll be competitive. But I just think that's tough. Tough.
Yeah. Tough question. So what next question gonna be for y'all? Should scouting agencies and recruiting agencies, or even places like 24/7 Sports, should they assign stars to athletes based on their seven on seven performances? Should they assign stars? And Coach Bruce, we're gonna let you go first on this one.
Um, I I think that 7-on-7 has a merit within the system on being graded, and it could possibly help you. But at the end of the day, 11-on-11 is 11-on-11 football. So we all know 7-on-7 all stars, but on the football field, they're just not the same because that aspect of the physicality. So I think 7-on-7 can obviously show you the potential of what a player could do. But I don't think they should be dropping stars off 7-on-7. That might be a little much.
Coach Mitchell?
Yeah. All right. I mean, when it comes to star dropping amongst a 7-on-7 kid, that really could line up and do 7-on-7, because the that coach just to it's a different game. You free of contact, I guess, in your mind. 11-on-11, contact is gonna come, at any point in time in the game. And I do feel like 7-on-7, you can't really merit stars. I feel like all your education as a and accolades as a football player should really solely be judged off of your 11 on 11 film. I think your 7 on 7 film though will show you how athletic you potentially could be. You know what I mean? Out of short, in just shorts and t-shirts, you're running around, running fast, jumping high, maybe making acrobatic catches, making DBs, being able to put their foot in the ground, and just do unbelievable things. You can see certain talent points, in 7 on 7, and I think it's just a good idea. It's a good thing to work on craft, and DBs and receivers get that opportunity every snap.
Okay. So y'all are doing y'all's final planning before making a short trip. Hopefully, who's coming from the farthest away to get to Feltram?
Shit, we about the same.
About the same. About the same. What now? Now y'all doing y'all's final planning and stuff like that. How has this COVID stuff really affected y'all? Are any kids getting sick? Have they been healthy this whole time?
I mean, now we in Florida, so
Now we
we right in the thick of it. The numbers been high for COVID in Florida since COVID started, so we used to it.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Same for you, Coach Mitchell.
Yes, sir. It's as these things go. I mean, we still got to have our precautions, because you don't want to put these kids in danger. They still got a lot of things they got to do, and we just got to be mindful of everything going on. So if there's crazy outbreaks, I think it might be best. But hey, we might not be able to make it to this tournament. Let's sit it down. Let's be safe this weekend, and we'll pick it back up again next weekend. But I think with this spike, with this COVID stuff, I mean, I still think we need to have our precautions. Regardless, you always got to have your guard up when it comes to
Yeah.
things like this.
Look, man, I
Okay. So
co-sign like crazy on that.
yeah, my man's gonna miss the trip up there, man. But he ended up getting sick for all this here, but it's okay. It can catch anybody. It can catch anybody.
Anybody,
So
anytime. But I'm here.
anytime,
I'm here.
anytime. Now we got some teams coming from out of Florida. Okay, we got one team coming all the way from Kansas City, Missouri. I want each one of you, never heard of this team before, probably never played them before. What would you tell them about playing down south?
AJ, you want to go on? You can go ahead and answer that, man. I mean,
I mean,
I mean,
I let them know it's gonna be competitive. Like it's a dog eat dog world down here in the bottom. Especially with football. This is we pride ourselves in the state of Florida on playing the best football in the country. Obviously, Texas, California, Georgia, Louisiana, those states they all get down. But at the
Man,
end
you
of the
can't
day,
leave out Virginia, man. We got some
I mean,
dudes
per
in
capita,
He up in
VA.
Virginia, y'all.
excuse me,
He up in
per
Virginia.
capita, Virginia and New Jersey as well. Per capita, Virginia, New Jersey do very well. But at the end of the day, we like to think, and the numbers say that we the top dog. So
Look,
it's gonna be
numbers
real.
don't lie, right? Numbers don't lie. You can look at what is it, Max Preps, I think is probably the most notable and respected brand out there that ranks, these sorts of things. And Florida is typically, if they're not number one, they're typically in the top two or three year in, year out, right? And if you look at the recruiting world, Florida, man, they got some dudes. You guys, y'all are built different. I don't know what y'all do down there. I don't know if it's the extra sunshine all year round or what it is. But y'all play football. Y'all play big time football, and you guys produce big time, caliber talent, right? And you guys both have spoke on it, right? You guys got numerous Power Five D1 dudes on the squads, that just ball out. I love it. Florida sets the standard, man. That's all I can say, man. But I wanted to shout out Virginia, man, because I'm in Virginia.
Any given day,
Nah,
any
VA,
given
VA
day,
got good
anybody
football.
can take it. Any given day, anybody can take it. What's your prediction for Sunday? It's double elimination. What's your predictions? Go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and start off. Let Coach Mitchell take this one first. What's your prediction? Are you predicting a win for 24K 18U on Sunday?
yes. I mean, it's an expectation that you want to have, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Man, I get to the tournaments, man. I get tunnel vision, and the only way out that tunnel is through that championship, man. So yeah, if I'm saying that we're getting out of there, we're getting out of there.
Coach Brooks. What is your position? You don't know all the teams that are coming, but we got some teams from around Florida. I already done shout out and said that I'm asking for that South Florida Express. I'm going to open up registration just for you to come through. If you feel bold, if you want some of that smoke from 24K or certified dogs, I'm telling you right now, I'm opening it up. Coach Brooks, what do you see on Sunday happening? Who's going to hold the big trophy?
Man, I'm a humble guy, but we want all the smoke. So we want whatever.
It's all of it.
We want it all. Like we could play 24K first game of the tournament. It don't matter. We want it all. We want all that smoke, and we ready. We'll be there Saturday. Double elimination. We'll be there Sunday, and all I can say is certified dog name will be in it at the end of the day. I can pretty much guarantee that.
See, that's the best way we could do it, Rob. I try. These men are doing it so professional, Rob, and I love it. I love it. That's the type of class we have at True Exposure and Championship 7v7. We're gonna have a little word to say, but at the end of the day, we're gonna let the talking work on the field, right? We're gonna make the work and the action on the field do what it do. For Coach Wasim, I'm giving him another shout out. These two men were both under his tutelage. Definitely appreciate him for the work he's done in the community over the years, being the powerhouse he's been. I want to super appreciate Tyler Harrison, that young man coming out at 11 years old. Mom letting him come out and talk to us for a minute at the beginning with his coach with the Irish. That those little babies, they always make you smile because they out there, they really playing football, man. But then they get up to y'all's age group and it's a whole different ball game. It turns from being play to being business.
That's
Being
it.
business.
And look, it's more of a business these days, man, because these kids can start to make money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, NIL is not a
Like
joke.
that's next level.
NIL is not a joke.
And I think and just speaking on that super quick, I think that's a big. I think that's gonna have a big impact on what 7-on-7 looks like going forward, man. I think opportunities will arise because of their 7-on-7 performances and what they do on and off the field. So I think that's a big deal, and I just wanted to shout that out, man. But Steve, man, do we got anything else for these fellas before we let them get back to their night?
I got one more because these men came on a True Exposure platform with Championship 7v7. Give me one child that you know that hasn't got the cred they need.
You took the words from my mouth, man. You read my notes. You read my notes, man.
Give me their name, the high school they go to, and tell me why you're giving them this exposure. Put that one child that you know hasn't been given the proper exposure. Give me that person's name. Okay? Go ahead. Give me one. Just one.
Coach Mitchell, you can take it first.
Ooh, I got some guys. You said somebody who hasn't got that exposure.
Give us that one dude, man.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna be honest, man. Listen, I got a kid got 5-star potential.
Let's shout him out, man.
Sometimes Zachary Droudy.
Okay.
He's gonna be a 5-star.
Say his name one more time, Coach.
Zachary Droudy.
All right, bet. So what's Zachary's graduating class, position, high school, and give us a snapshot of who he is, man.
He's a class of 23. He's an athlete at Yulee High School. Man, it's something, like I said, man, you get lost with small schools sometimes in small pockets in this state of Florida, man, and you got gems. And he's a gem. He's 6'3", plays receiver, unlimitless ball skills, man, like limitless ball skills, man. He can do it all. He's a high flyer, fast kid. He just hasn't got the notoriety yet, man, but he will, I promise.
So perfect, man.
He'll get it.
So with that, man, all of that is great, but it means nothing unless he's got the talent in the classroom, man. So can you speak on how his grades look? Is he where he needs to be? Or is that a focal area that he needs to work on? Because grades are important, man.
No, he's got the grade. He's got the grades to go wherever he's got to go. He's got
I love
the
it.
grades that these coaches look for. He's a humble young man. He comes from a good family. His mother wants nothing but the best for him. And 7-on-7, man, not for nothing. It gives the kids, man, who are small neighborhood, maybe just the small homes that they really don't have much to turn to. It gives the out of mind something to do. And I know that's something, I mean, I'm pretty sure AJ Brooks could vouch for that too, man. We've been around kids, man, that come from real humble beginnings. And you know what? 7-on-7, I feel like has provided a space for those kids to really outlet, just to let loose sometimes and be around people that can really hold them like family. You know what I mean? Because some of these kids that we do deal with, unfortunately, they don't have that father that can tell them that they love them all the time. And I know me and my coaching staff and the guys in my organization, man, that's something that we're big on, man. We tell our kids we love them because it's real. I mean, it's like I said, we were built off love, and that's what it's been. And I've only received blessings since I've been started. So I give it back to those kids, man. They got us where we're at right now.
So
As
so so
kids.
so check it out, Coach, man. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna extend an open invite, right? So if you want to link with me offline, I'm gonna extend the invite to have Zachary on the show for a one-on-one conversation, or you can join him if you wish, and give him that additional True Exposure platform, man. Have him on Spotlight 39. We'll talk about who he is, where he's from. Let him share his story. Really spice him up. And in the process, man, I'll play his huddle film so people can see what he does on the field. But then we close it out with who he is off the field, and we learn a little bit about his character, man. So I just want to extend that invite. By all means, take it up if you wish. And I'm gonna do the same thing for Coach Brooks. That way I don't have to repeat myself because I'm feeling a little crappy right now. But for your young man that you're gonna shout out, man, again, open invite. If you got any kids, man, not just Zachary or the young man that you're gonna shout out, any kid that has a story to share, I got a platform for him, man. Just reach out to me, and I would love to have him on for a one-on-one. Or like I said, man, you can join with him. We'll play his huddle film. That way we can see what he's got on the field. We can relate that to the conversation, and that's what I got, man. So I'm gonna go ahead, take it to Coach Brooks. Shout out your one dude. Tell us who he is, position, graduating class, high school, and any of the good deets, right? That we want to know about your young man.
Okay, cool. The one guy that comes to mind would be Cameron Mills, to Vieira in Melbourne, Florida. He's a running back slash DB. He's an athlete. I think he is, my opinion, he's a projected DB at the next level. Amazing grades. He has a 3.6, so
Love
that's
it.
not going to be an issue. He's a good kid, hard worker. He looks the par. About 6 foot, 175, 180. So once he gets in the weight room, he can easily carry 200 pounds. Very physical, smart, instinctual player. Out of Vieira High School in Melbourne, Florida. His name's Cameron Mills.
Cameron Mills.
Cameron Mills. Okay.
Yep.
Good
Cameron,
deal.
if you watching this, your coach cared enough to bring you up. Okay. Your coach that coaches you in 7v7 football cared enough to bring you up. Zachary, your coach cared enough to bring you up. If you ever have
Man,
a doubt in your mind about the people that spend that time with you, there he is right
we
there.
having
Put it on.
we
Come on.
having a team meeting right now, man, on Zoom. We having a Zoom team meeting right
This
now.
man is multitasking on live TV. I like it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Cameron Mills, Zachary. Say Zachary's last name for me one more time.
Droughty.
Drawdy.
Droughty.
Drawdy. Okay.
Perfect.
We look forward to seeing both of those young men. We're going to go ahead and close it up for tonight. Rob, I appreciate you so much as usual. To Zenith,
Absolutely.
to Yoked, to
Look.
Grip Boost.
Look,
We
stop
appreciate
taking my
y'all
notes, man.
sponsoring us.
You ain't even give me time to cue up the graphic this time, man. So look, let me pause you there so I can do it the right way. Nah, man, I'm just kidding. So look, fellas, I appreciate it. Steve, man, as always, it was a pleasure. Hopefully I get to see you guys and your teams, rocking at some events. Like I said, I got to sit this one out. But I will be in Plano the following weekend. So if you guys make the trip, I would love to link up and just, meet you in person. It was an absolute pleasure and honor. And I appreciate you shouting out your kids. And like I said, one last time, open invite for either of those dudes or anybody else that you have to be on the show, man. That's what Spotlight 39 is built around, is providing a platform for young student athletes to share their story, to gain exposure, and to tell us a little bit about who they are outside of being a student athlete. Because it's one thing to have the talent, but it's another thing to be a person, right? And you want to be a better person than a better athlete. and that's what we represent here at Spotlight 39. So, fellas, again, thank you. Coach Brooks, man, get back to your meeting. Coach Mitchell, it was a pleasure. I appreciate y'all.
I appreciate you
Appreciate
for
y'all
having me
having
on, man. Thank you.
All right, so check it out, man. Since Steve stole the shine, I got to bring it back up now, man. Let me go ahead and get the right graphic up so that I can shout out the sponsors, you know, in a appropriate manner, Steve. Here we go. Let me throw it up right here. So now we got Zenith, we got Yoked, and we got Grip Boost. So we want to thank our official sponsors for being so great, for doing what they do, supporting the brand, supporting the circuit. So again, Zenith, Yoke, Grip Boost. I appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all. With that being said, I'm going to close out this show, man. I'm Rob Odie. This was Spotlight 39. Let me get this graphic off the screen. I'm going to close it out with 39 hearts like I do every single time, man. It's the reason why I do everything. Appreciate y'all.